Hello, welcome to the Inner Wellness Hub. I'm here, just a gorgeous day in Santa Barbara. I'm so thankful. But I just want to speak from the heart today. And I didn't really feel like doing a video today, but I thought that I should just go ahead and do it so you can see what it's like when I'm having a personal struggle. And I just couldn't help but acknowledge just the massive amount of disturbance in the atmosphere right now of our country. And since I am very familiar with energy patterns and frequencies and how they work, I'm very aware and sensitive to energies, and I can actually feel it in my body. So I can feel the chaotic energy, the like discouragement and dismay. It actually creates a frequency in the atmosphere, and I can feel it in my body. And I've been struggling the last few days. I want to say since the 5th of January. And you know, we got through the new year. It was just such a relief to end 2020 and start a new era. And I woke up on December 31st early just to go watch the sunrise and just to tune into God's heart and mind and ask him, you know, for what to expect going into the new year and how to approach the new year. And I was just bombarded with his heart and his mind, and it was all positive. It was so positive, and there was so much encouragement coming from him that I was thinking, yes, you know, things are gonna turn. There's gonna be a turn, and there's gonna be more of a positive steps moving forward in the new year. And to my surprise and to my dismay, instead of seeing that happening, I started to see the same thing that we all experienced in 2020, the exact same spirits, the exact same energies, the exact same mentalities continue on, and even worse in the new year. So we're talking about fear, we're talking about anger, we're talking about hate, we're talking about accusation and suspicion and judgment and you know, turmoil and strife and conflict and confusion and chaos. You know, we're just talking about the same things manifesting still. And I think we're all tired of it. I think we're all kind of, you know, over it at this point. And what I want to say is that my body, since the 5th, I feel the energy in my body, and it's just really difficult. It's difficult to feel that. It's difficult to steward it. And I think it's difficult for everybody. And when that happens, when there's just an overwhelming amount of negative energy in the atmosphere, sometimes it's just too much. And usually for me, when I have something personal, like I'm already having I'm feeling overwhelmed in my own personal life, and then you add on top of it kind of corporate, like this massive corporate issue, and then you add on top of that the spiritual aspect, what's going on in the spiritual realm. When all those three things converge at once, sometimes it's just too much. Sometimes it's just too much for a person. And I found that for the last many days, I couldn't get myself out of it. And this is what I do for a living. I help people manage their thoughts and emotions and shift out of the destructive thoughts and emotions and into the higher ones. That's actually what I do. But I just want to be honest, sometimes it's just too much. And that's what I have found over the last few days. It was just too much for me to manage. But what I want to say is that when you get to that point, this is for everybody, because we're not perfect. We're human beings, and we're not going to do it perfectly. We're not going to respond perfectly. We're not going to manage and operate perfectly 100% of the time. But what I can tell you is that when we have those days where it's just too much and we're not able to shift out of it or move out of it or manage our thoughts and emotions, when we can't do it, what you do, and this is what I did for the last couple days, is you just write it out. You write it out, and you know that God's mercies are new every morning. When you wake up every morning, the day is new and fresh, and there's an opportunity for something different. And so even if it lasts 2 days or 3 days, you write it out, and you know that it's not forever, it's temporary, and there's going to be a breakthrough. Because guess what? Every time there's a struggle, every time there's a challenge, it's an opportunity to grow. It's an opportunity to upgrade. And so this is what I feel like, people. I feel like not only for myself, but for America, for humankind, we're living in this, we've transitioned into this new era, and we have an opportunity and the possibility of upgrading. That's what we're facing. And whenever there's an upgrade, there's opposition and there's challenge. The two go hand in hand. So I still feel all of the positives I felt from God's heart. I still believe with all my heart that they're true, because God's not concerned. He's seeing what's going on the planet, in our country. He's seeing from a higher perspective. We have a limited perspective. So there's still a positive outcome, because there can't be any other outcome except for positive, because we're citizens of a kingdom that cannot be shaken, that will never be shaken. We belong to a system and a government that's already won, that already has the upper hand. So we're approaching everything from a place of victory already. We belong to a government that the Bible says of its increase there will be no end. So the increase of God, the God's government is always increasing on the earth, not decreasing. So I want to tell you what has come to me. So after 3 days of being, the only way I can describe it is dismay, feeling this dismay. And I was feeling it personally, but I know that probably most people are feeling it too. And there's actually an energetic frequency of dismay right now, which is what I feel in my body, and it's not fun. And what happened is the first day it was okay, because I thought, okay, I'll just ride it out through the day. Tomorrow will be different. But I woke up the next day and I felt even worse, and I could feel the energetic frequency in my body was down here. It was very low, and it wasn't good. And number one, I felt really tired. Number two, my thoughts and emotions were very, very, very negative. I was in a bad mood. I could feel my internal environment, my internal state was not ideal. And then I thought, well, I'll go surf, because I love surfing. I love surfing with my husband. It is the best way to relieve stress and to give yourself a boost when you need it. And it always works. Being in the sun, being in the salt water, being, physical activity, it always works. You guys, I went surfing. I couldn't even surf. I did terrible. I couldn't even surf. I couldn't catch a good wave. I got just worked and tumbled, and it was awful. It was a terrible experience. It was no fun. I came back from that feeling worse. So that didn't even work. But after 3 days of being just down and feeling this dismay and not being able to get out of it, I finally had a breakthrough. Oh, also, I got into an altercation with one of my dearest friends, and that's what threw me over the edge after all of that. And so I just clung on to, I don't know when this is gonna lift, but I'm gonna trust God that there's gonna be a breakthrough, and I'm gonna get an answer of how to proceed forward. And so let me tell you what I got. So first of all, now I can't remember the dates, but I think the second day that I was feeling this, I asked for God to give me a dream, because sometimes when your mind is out of the way and God speaks to you in a dream, you can get some more clarity. And this is so bizarre. In my dream, I was brought up on a stage in front of a large group of people. I don't know how many people, but it was a large group of people. And someone handed me a microphone and said, sing something. and I was completely put on the spot. I had no idea this was coming. I stood there in front of a crowd with a microphone, and my mind was blank. I couldn't even think of anything to sing. And so all of a sudden, I just started singing the first thing that came to my mind. And I started singing this song by the Beatles, Let It Be. You know that song? Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. That's the song I sang. And I don't even know all the lyrics to that song. I actually woke up the next day and I had to Google the lyrics because I don't know the lyrics. But in my dream, I did. That was the weird thing. In my dream, I sang the song to this crowd. So I woke up actually stuck on that song running through, playing all day. And so all day I'm thinking, okay, God, let it be. Just let it be. There will be an answer. There will be an answer. There will be a way to move forward. Just let it be. So that's the first thing. That helped a little bit. I decided to just let it be. And then this morning I woke up determined. I'm going to thank you, God. Thank you for this day. You have made this day. It's a new day. What do you have? What do you got for me? I want to see, from your perspective, I want to think in alignment with your thoughts and your mind. I want to feel what you feel. So I got a couple things. Number one, faith, hope, and love. I want to just touch on that briefly. The word says that those are the greatest things. Faith, hope, and love are the greatest things. So those are the highest things. And what are they? They're actually substances. Faith is a substance. Love is a substance. Hope is a substance. And they're the greatest. They're the highest substances that exist because they don't come from this earth. They come from the kingdom of heaven. They come from a higher realm. And so I feel like we're going to learn as human beings. We are going to be upgraded, and we're going to learn how to access and operate and live and choose faith, hope, and love, regardless of our circumstances in this earthly plane, in this earthly realm. So we're going to be upgraded in understanding those substances and how to live in them and operate in them and choose them. So for right now, for me, whatever I need to do to choose, to align with, to operate in, to allow to flow in me and through me and out of me, faith, hope, and love, I'm going to do that, whatever it takes. And so that's just an encouragement. The other thing I got is let God be God in you, and let God be God in other people. And at the end of the day, when even believers are at odds with each other, we have to trust God in them. And so that's what I'm going to do. I trust God in you, no matter what your opinions are, no matter what your beliefs are, no matter what perspective you have right now about why we're in this situation and what the answers are. I trust God in you. And so we all need to give that same trust to each other and be honoring and preserve unity at all costs, and trust God in each other, because we each bear the image of God. Even people that aren't Christians bear the image of God. And so we need to trust God in them to some point, as to some degree as well, and give them the same honor. And we're all uniquely wired. We each have a unique wiring to conduct the presence of God and to express God in some way on the earth. And if we were all the same, that would be weird. So praise God that we all have we're all unique. We're all each an expression of God in a unique way, and it's all wonderful. And there's no one person that has it all. There's no one church that has it all. There's no one group that has it all. There's nobody that has all the answers and has it all. So we need each other's different perspectives. We need each other's different lenses that we're seeing through. And we can take the positives, the God parts of all of those, and put it together. We can be like a dot to dot. We can be like one of those pictures that's a dot to dot. And as you connect each dot, you see the full picture. And that's what we need. And that's what we need to be. So let God be God in you. Let God be God in each other and everybody else. I trust God in you, everybody. Let's preserve the unity. Let's do whatever we need to do to choose faith, hope, and love. Those are substances, and those actually those substances are frequencies. And so if we can come up here to a higher plane into the frequencies of faith, hope, and love, we're going to make it. We're going to be okay. We're going to upgrade in those areas, and we can do this. I know we can do this. I trust God in each one of us, and I trust that He, at the end of the day, He cannot lose because He's already won. The kingdom of heaven already rules and reigns, so it's already won. So there's no way we can be defeated. And I know that unless people have turned to the dark side, which that has happened. It's just like Star Wars. People get drawn into the dark side. We've got the Sith Lords right in front of us posing as these great people, and that's happening. So we have the dark side. So unless you have turned to the dark side, that's another issue, and that has happened. There are people that have literally chosen to go to the dark side. But unless you've done that, we have more in common, regardless of where we are, our beliefs, our political views, our religious views, our race, our culture, our ethnicity, all of those things. We have more in common than we do differences. And so we can honor that and trust that in each other and preserve unity, choose faith, hope, and love at all costs. So bless you all and have a wonderful week. I'm choosing faith. I'm choosing that faith is going to get us through, faith in something higher than what we're seeing going on. And we can choose love because God is love, and He always shows grace and mercy to us, so we can have grace and mercy with each other as we navigate this time and we look forward and move in the direction of an upgrade. So let's do this.